Maels Rodríguez was born on July 14, 1981, in Havana, Cuba, a city with a rich baseball tradition. Growing up in a family that valued athletics, Maels was introduced to sports at a young age. However, it was baseball that captured his heart, as it did for many Cuban children. Cuba's national passion for baseball would provide a fertile ground for Rodríguez's talents to blossom. From an early age, Maels exhibited a remarkable aptitude for sports, particularly in baseball. His natural ability and strong arm quickly set him apart from his peers. As a young child, he showed a deep understanding of the game and an innate ability to handle pressure, often performing better in high-stakes situations than most of his teammates. Encouraged by his parents, Maels joined a local baseball league, where he began to hone his skills. His proficiency on the mound, especially with his powerful fastball, became evident early on, catching the attention of scouts from the elite sports academies in Cuba. At just 13 years old, Maels was selected to join one of Cuba's most prestigious sports schools, where the country's top young athletes were groomed for professional competition. Under the tutelage of experienced coaches, Rodríguez's pitching ability grew exponentially. He was taught not only to harness his powerful fastball but also to develop a full arsenal of pitches, including a devastating slider and curveball, which would later become hallmarks of his pitching style. By the time he was 16, Rodríguez had already caught the eye of Cuba's national coaches, and it wasn't long before he was playing at the highest level of youth baseball in the country. His ability to consistently throw strikes with high velocity and mix pitches effectively made him a force to be reckoned with, even at such a young age. Breaking into the Cuban National Series, Maels Rodríguez made his professional debut in the Cuban National Series, CNS, in 2000, at the age of 19. His arrival in the CNS, one of the toughest leagues in the world, was highly anticipated, as many saw him as one of the most talented pitchers to emerge from the Cuban baseball system in years. His first few seasons were marked by learning and adapting to the level of competition. Though he struggled with consistency early on, his raw talent was undeniable. His first few years with the Havana Industriales, one of the most storied teams in Cuban baseball, were challenging. Maels experienced the usual growing pains of a young pitcher adjusting to the professional ranks. However, his early struggles were short-lived. By the time he reached his mid-20s, Rodríguez had become a mainstay in the Industriales rotation, known for his fastball velocity, sharp movement, and ability to shut down opposing lineups. In 2004, Rodríguez began to assert himself as one of the most dominant pitchers in the league. His strikeout numbers soared, and he became known for his ability to overpower batters with his fastball, regularly reaching speeds exceeding 95 miles per hour. As a result, he earned a reputation for being one of the most intimidating pitchers in the Cuban National Series. Rodríguez's rise to prominence was accelerated by his exceptional command and his ability to perform under pressure, traits that endeared him to both teammates and fans alike. Peak of career. Dominance in the Cuban National Series. By the mid-2000s, Maels Rodríguez had reached the peak of his career. The 2005 and 2006 seasons marked the best years of his professional baseball journey, as he emerged as the ace of the Industriales pitching staff. In these years, Rodríguez's dominance on the mound was unmatched. His fastball, consistently clocked in the upper 90s, and his devastating slider were key components of his success. Opposing batters found themselves unable to hit his pitches, and his strikeout totals grew rapidly. One of the most defining moments of his career came during the 2006 Cuban National Series playoffs, where Rodríguez led the Industriales to a championship. His performance in the postseason was legendary, and he earned the title of Finals MVP for his dominant pitching. In the final game of the series, Rodríguez threw a complete game shutout, striking out 12 batters and allowing only 4 hits. It was a performance that left an indelible mark on the Cuban baseball community and solidified his place as one of the country's premier pitchers. His success didn't end there. Rodríguez was named the Cuban National Series Pitcher of the Year multiple times and led the league in strikeouts for several consecutive seasons. His ability to throw with pinpoint accuracy while maintaining a blistering pace made him one of the most feared pitchers in the league. Over the years, he developed a reputation not only for his electric stuff but also for his composure and leadership on the mound. He became a role model for younger pitchers in Cuba, known for his relentless work ethic and commitment to improving his craft. In addition to his national success, Rodríguez was a key figure in Cuba's international competitions. He represented his country in the World Baseball Classic and the Pan American Games, where he helped lead Cuba to gold medals. His performance on the international stage was as dominant as in the domestic league, showcasing his ability to compete with the world's best pitchers. Main achievements. Maels Rodríguez's career is defined by numerous personal and team achievements, which highlight his incredible talent and lasting impact on Cuban baseball. Some of the most significant milestones of his career include: Cuban National Series Championship, 2006. Rodríguez's crowning achievement came when he led the Havana Industriales to the Cuban National Series Championship in 2006. His MVP performance in the finals, where he pitched a complete game shutout with 12 strikeouts, remains one of the greatest pitching performances in the history of the league. Pitcher of the Year awards. Rodríguez was named the Cuban National Series Pitcher of the Year multiple times during his career, cementing his status as one of the league's top pitchers. Strikeout leader. Throughout his career, Rodríguez consistently ranked among the league leaders in strikeouts. His ability to overpower batters with his fastball and slider was a hallmark of his pitching style. International success. Rodríguez helped lead Cuba to gold medals in the 2006 and 2010 Pan American Games. He also represented Cuba in the World Baseball Classic, where he faced some of the world's best hitters. Dominant seasons. Rodríguez had several seasons in which he posted remarkable statistical achievements, including a career-high 220 strikeouts in a single season and an ERA consistently below 2.00. Last years of career and life after baseball. As with many athletes, the later years of Maels Rodríguez's career were marked by physical challenges. By the early 2010s, injuries began to take their toll on his pitching arm, and he found it increasingly difficult to maintain his former dominance. Despite undergoing surgeries and rehabilitation, Rodríguez was unable to return to his peak form. In 2014, at the age of 33, Rodríguez made the decision to retire from professional baseball. Although his decision was met with sadness from fans and fellow players, many understood that the physical demands of pitching had become too much for him to continue. After his retirement, Rodríguez took on a coaching role, mentoring young pitchers in Cuba and helping to develop the next generation of baseball talent. His knowledge of the game and his experience in both national and international competitions made him an invaluable asset to Cuban baseball. In the years following his retirement, Rodríguez stayed involved with the Cuban Baseball Federation, working to promote the sport and ensure its future in the country. He also spent time with his family and enjoyed a quieter life, though he remained an iconic figure in Cuban baseball. His legacy as one of the country's greatest pitchers is secure, and he is remembered for his dominance, work ethic, and contribution to the sport. Though his playing career is over, Maels Rodríguez's impact on Cuban baseball is indelible. His name continues to be spoken with reverence by fans and players alike, and his story serves as an inspiration to all those who aspire to greatness in the world of sports.